arena, where today a scheduled 15-round bout between the champion Matthew Saad Muhammed in his dressing room right now will be accepting the challenge of a 29-year-old from Cameroon, West Africa. There he is, Louis Pergaud. His 19th bout, he has won 17, he's lost only one. That loss he has avenged. We look forward to a great deal of action here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where it's sunshiny, just beautiful, a little on the chilly side, but what a scenic spot. Tell you more about that later. Right now, back to Forest Hills and Howard Cosell. You're looking at a live shot from Halifax, Nova Scotia. This is the Metro Center. For today, this man, Matthew Saad Muhammed, formerly known as Matt Franklin, makes the third defense of his WBC light heavyweight title, a title he won April 22nd, 1979, in this unforgettable 8th-round knockout in Indianapolis over Marvin Johnson. His opponent today, the 4th-ranked WBC challenger with a record of 17 wins and 18 pro bouts, Louis Pergaud from the Cameroons of West Africa. So today on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship, Matthew Saad Muhammed defending against the challenger Louis Pergaud. For more fields are alike, watch this, a Goodyear radio. City of Halifax, Nova Scotia, founded in 1749. Sailing ships have been on these waters since the 1700s. 2 world wars, ship convoys were formed right here to head for Europe. Ferry boats connecting Dartmouth on the far side of this body of water and Halifax itself. It's a city in transition as we look at the ancient old town clock, practically surrounded now by glass and concrete, including this multi-million-dollar Halifax Metro Center. And for the peninsula, the province of Canada that loves boxing, this is the first World Championship bout in Halifax or in Nova Scotia. I'm Chris Schenkel, delighted to be here. Warm, friendly people. Today, 2 tough boxers, a champion. Well, there is Matthew Saad Muhammed, and he's in his 3rd title defense today, going against the challenger from West Africa, now fighting out of Dusseldorf, West Germany, Louis Pergaud, who's had only 18 fights. He's lost only one. That loss he avenged a little bit later on, both weighing in at 174.5. Let's learn more about Matthew Saad Muhammed, an interesting champion. The story of Matthew Saad Muhammed begins here on the streets of Philadelphia. According to police records, he was found abandoned on these streets on June 16, 1959, at approximately the age of 5. The authorities gave him a name, Matthew Franklin, and turned him over to a series of orphanages and foster homes where he spent his childhood. Matthew did not have an easy time. He became the leader of a Philadelphia street gang in his teens and ended up in this prison. It was a critical period for Matthew. He took account of himself, decided he needed to turn his life around. When he was released, he went into a gym for the first time, determined to become a boxer. Interestingly, his fights reflected his life because he constantly had to come back after a rough start. His first big fight was in 1977 against Marvin Johnson, and here in round 3, Johnson hit Matthew with a non-stop barrage of uppercuts and hooks. But Matthew rallied in the 12th and final round. With the fight on the line, he pounded Johnson into submission to win his first title, the North American Boxing Federation light heavyweight crown. In his second defense of that title, he fought Richie Cates. And here in round 4, watch Cates on the left of your screen. That tremendous right hand dropped Matthew flat on his face. But Matthew got off the canvas and in round 6 delivered a tremendous right of his own that had Cates out on his feet. The ref wisely stopped the fight. 3 fights later, he ran into another tough contender, Yaki Lopez, who had Matthew pinned on the ropes and in trouble in round 10. Look at the number of unanswered punches Lopez was able to land. But incredibly, in the same round, Matthew came back with his own attack. A round later, the ref awarded Matt a TKO, and that win earned him a shot at the title. The new champ was his old adversary, Marvin Johnson, who again started like a house on fire and built up an early lead with punches like this in the 3rd round that had Matthew holding on. By round 8, Matthew had suffered terrible cuts over both eyes. In one last desperate effort, he caught Johnson on the ropes and didn't let up until the champion slumped to the canvas. Johnson struggled to get up. The picture of Matthew in the neutral corner was unforgettable. Johnson did beat the count, but the referee stopped the fight. Matthew Franklin had become the new champion. He had become somebody. It was after this fight that he changed his name to Matthew Saad Muhammed and publicly embraced the Muslim religion. His first defense was against former champion John Conti, who built up an early lead on his excellent jab and left hooks, like that one that staggered the defending champion. The fight was on the line in round 14, and again it was Matthew who pulled it out with this knockdown. He won a unanimous decision, and in the rematch, had his first easy fight in a long time as he knocked Conti down 5 times in the 4th round. An incredible series of comebacks, reminiscent of another Philadelphia fighter named Rocky. It's been so tough that Matthew wonders when people talk about the fight game.
After being involved in it for many of years, you know, I can honestly say that it's no game, and it's for real. And what you see is blood, and that's real blood. It's no Rocky movie, you know. And I think the person who would play the best part for Rocky would be me.
Well, this real-life Rocky has come a long way from the streets of Philadelphia. He now does his morning road work in the quiet suburb of Jenkintown, where he recently fulfilled a lifelong dream by buying his own home. It was an especially important purchase to a young man who spent most of his early days in orphanages and foster homes. He talks about it with justifiable pride.
I always did dream of having a beautiful home. I wanted to, say, if this is mine, this is something I really worked for. You know, coming home after a very hard workout, you can always sit back and relax, and you can look and you say, well, this is what I achieved.
He's still decorating some of the rooms of his new home, including this, the living room. And when he gets a break in training, he spends a lot of time with his interior decorator, trying to make every detail perfect in this home that means so much to him. But as often as he can, Matthew tries to move away from the materialistic side of his life to the spiritual. He returns to Philadelphia, to this converted schoolhouse, which now is the local headquarters for the American Muslim Mission, formerly known as the Black Muslims.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
He feels strongly that his faith has given him the mental strength to straighten out his life and allow his talent as a boxer to lead him to the WBC World Championship. And of course, he continues his intensive training, determined that his recent success will not lessen his dedication.
You can't just stop and say, well, now I'm at the peak, I have everything. You have to train even harder. And they say it's easy once you get it. It's not easy once you get it. It's hard keeping it. I know what I have to do in life. A fighter, they say, has a short period of time, say 5 years. So you make yourself now while you're champion, and you have to stand up and be your own man,
Quite a 25-year-old, isn't he? There he is live in the ring. He's got his championship belt on. He's held it for about a year and a month, and here's the man that wants to take it away. 6th-ranked Louis Pergaud will return for the opening bell, but first this. Nova Scotia live, Matthew Saad Muhammed, the champion. You see his record there, 17 knockouts in a total of 25 wins, and now going against a light heavyweight that's just a little taller, and his name is Louis Pergaud, born in the Cameroons, West Africa, has been fighting out of Dusseldorf. You see his manager, the sandy-haired gentleman, Mickey Duff of London, and the referee today is Rudy Ortega of Oakland, California. And in WBC rules, it's a 10-point must. The 2 judges and the referee score. Get an idea of their statistics, the same weight, which we'll talk about in a moment. Pergaud is 4 years older. You see he has an advantage in the reach, and it says 2 inches taller, and that's about it. Tail of the tapes. Scheduled for 15 rounds, the first opportunity for Pergaud at a world championship, and he easily made the weight at 174.5. Light heavyweight division limit is 175, whereas the man at whom we're looking, Saad Muhammed, because of an inaccurate bathroom scales, thought he weighed 175, but when he came into the weigh-in this morning, he weighed 177. So within an hour, he dropped 2.5 pounds. So he, like Pergaud, as we're in the first rounds, is in at 174.5. The champion in white, you've seen him before here on ABC. You saw him win the title on ABC in the 2 defenses against Conti. He's more a scrapper. he is a slugger, not necessarily a boxer. And early now, tall, spindly, light heavyweight from the Cameroons in West Africa, the southpaw, is opening up. And most experts feel that he better do it early because the champion is a devastating hooker, and he has a very, very good right hand and could put him out. Ortega, the referee from Oakland, California, who has been refereeing for 21 years, 20 championship bouts, is one of the 3 officials judging the bout. 10-point must, 8-ounce gloves, an 18-foot square ring here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. The southpaw, like Marvin Johnson and like Mate Parloff, whom the champion in white fought twice each, is accustomed to those that hit from the port side with that right-hand lead. And, of course, Pergaud in the red is a sort of a classic-looking boxer, but you see Matthew Saad Muhammed now trying to measure him, but carelessly is dropping the dukes, and every now and then a jab from Pergaud is finding its mark. We're in the first round. Coming up to the 1 minute of round 1 of a scheduled 15-rounder. Pergaud with a good right hand. Muhammad trying to get a body punch. Doubling up on, in fact, making it a triple hook here in the first round. Formerly Matt Franklin from Philadelphia, now Matthew Saad Muhammed in white, the champion. That was a stiff right hand, very, very short, a la Joe Louis type. Didn't travel more than 8 inches, but it hurt Pergaud. 10-point must, remember. The winner gets 10 points, the loser anything less than 10. WBC rules. Mandatory 8-count, 3 rule knockdown in a round has been waived. Less than a half minute on the first round. That's Rudy Ortega of Oakland, California, coming here to east-northeast of Boston, Nova Scotia. We'll have the bell in 10 seconds. Halifax, Nova Scotia. In red, that is the challenger from West Africa, who does not sit down between rounds. Well, he stood after taking a lot of solid body punches, 2 or 3 of them a little below the belt, but fighters are protected with a cup. The southpaw in red is 6'1", a couple inches taller than the champion, Matthew Saad Muhammed. And in that first round, you probably saw the vicious body punches. He has sort of a frail body, the challenger, at 6 feet 1 inches and 174.5. So let's see just how strong his legs are and whether he can take the punishment that Matthew Saad Muhammed usually dishes out. With 17 knockouts and 25 wins, trying to get an uppercut there. Both of them short. But counter-punching back is Louis Pergaud. Pergaud fought April 14th of last year and defeated Willie Taylor in New Orleans. Otherwise, his fights have been, all of his fights have, the other fights, I should say, have been in Europe. First championship bout for a world title at Nova Scotia with its 7,000 kilometers of shoreline. Beautiful place. There you see him ripping the punches. We now look at the right foot of the champion, Matthew Saad Muhammed, and the sole has come loose from the other parts of leather that's on his right shoe. There you see it on the left there. You can just see the sole now. They cause him to stumble or stick. See what they'll do between rounds. Of course, a minute rest period will be coming up here in about 1 minute. Good little left-hand lead by Pergaud. Get up. Come on. Matthew Saad Muhammed had to drop 2.5 pounds to get in under 175 pounds today. Did it by skipping rope, equivalent of 2 rounds, and dropping a pound, and then the other 1.5 pounds by jogging. Should not have sapped his strength, although he does not look as sharp here in round 2 as he did in the first round of this scheduled 15-rounder. Defending his title for the 3rd time in white, Saad Muhammed. And falling inside like that, leaving his solar plexus open, is very, very dangerous on the part of the challenger in red. And a right-hand lead by the champion. Both those punches, but there was a left hook to the body that was vicious. They'll get a rest in a couple of seconds.
Let's go.
So between rounds, Sam Solomon, Saad Muhammad's trainer, taped up that sole on the right white shoe of the champion in the white trunks. And before that second round ended, we pointed out a vicious left hook to Pergaud's body. Pergaud and right, the challenger from West Africa. 174.5, both light heavyweights. By the way, they had to stop the right nostril, blood flowing from the right nostril of the champion between rounds. Done so by one of the fine cut men, Eddie Aliano. We mention that because Matthew Saad Muhammad in the past has cut up easily over both eyes. He's been decked, but he's always come off the floor to win the bouts. So a cut man is a very, very important part of the corner for the champion in white. This is a third round scheduled for 15.
Okay. Get out of there. All right.
Pergaud in red. A little bit disorganized, losing a little more of a classic boxing style that he had in the first round. Now he's back to it, upright, flicking out right-hand jabs, but there's a right hand to the body that nearly was solid. More of a glancing blow. That one missed, partially blocked. Good defense by Pergaud in red. Another one blocked for the arm. Those are long arms that the challenger has. About 2.5 inches longer, the reach of that of Matthew Saad Muhammad. Saad Muhammad now trying to put a little more pressure on Pergaud, who's trying to use all of this 18-foot square ring and trying to keep the champion off balance with that right jab, being a southpaw. Ooh, there was a right-hand lead that caught the side of the head of Pergaud. Trying to be a moving target now, and a left-hand lead by the southpaw found its mark. He has only 7 knockouts in 17 wins. You just saw Matthew Saad Muhammad. Doesn't ever hide. More a fighter than the boxer, as you've already seen here today.
Work your way out there.
Just rips punches.
Watch yourself.
Now trying to stay on top of it, Pergaud. There have been no knockdowns. We're in the third round with less than 30 seconds. Matthew now trying to land right-hand leads here in the third round. Rudy Ortega of Oakland, California, the referee. 2 judges are Dick Young of Los Angeles and Alex Nickerson of Halifax, Nova Scotia, from where we're speaking. Six-foot-1-inch challenger, standing as you saw, never sits on a stool between rounds. Has been doing that for 131 amateur fights, and now his 18th professional fight. Louis Pergaud, born in the Cameroons, West Africa, member of the 1976 Cameroon Montreal Olympic team, but as the African nations returned home, he never got to go for a gold. Right now, trying for a world title against the champion, Matthew Saad Muhammad in white, and there is a good right hook. More of a hook than a straight right hand. The champion predicted that he'd knock him out in the 4th round. Well, we're into that stanza right now. Pergaud in red has never been knocked out. And there he had his knees buckled. Another one. Beautiful shots that will take their toll, adding up. About 2 minutes remaining. Matthew Saad Muhammad is really unloading. But look at Pergaud. Powder puff punches, but nonetheless keeping him busy. Keeping Matthew Saad Muhammad a little bit off balance. That was a push, not from a heavy punch.
Work your way out. Work your way out.
Referee Rudy Ortega tells both fighters to work their way out. as we alert our local stations along the line that at the end of the round, we'll be taking a station break. The nosebleed during round 2, sustained by the champion, did not bother him in the third round at all. You see Saad Muhammed trying to get in a lot of body punches.
Work your way out. Watch your shoulder.
Referee telling both fighters to watch their shoulders.
Punch your way out.
They could do damage to the brow of the opponent. Another right hand lead and then a left to the body. Another one by Matthew Saad Muhammed. Less than a minute, round 4. See the champion in white trying to cut off the ring and get in some good shots. Those are beauties, but Pergaud thus far. He may be wobbly right now, hanging on. Let's see as he gets out of the clinch as Ortega looks at him. He touched his head as though he was butted by the champion. But I think he's in trouble here in the 4th round. 24 seconds remaining. Very loose, 6'1" light heavyweight. 15 seconds till the bell ending round 4.
Let's go. Get out.
We'll be back with more of the Saad Muhammed Pergaud WBC Light Heavyweight Championship fight after this message and a word from our local stations. Now we're back in Halifax, Nova Scotia Live, the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. The champion Saad Muhammed in the white trunks from Philadelphia and from West Africa in red. That is Louis Pergaud, who has taken some kind of a beating thus far, especially in the body. Many uninitiated fight fans really watching on TV can't feel or see the heaviness of body punches. More to the head, you can appreciate those and relate to them at home. But there was a shot to the head, partially blocked, but Saad Muhammed unloading with everything he has.
Work your way out. That's it.
Physically strong as Saad Muhammed, as he's proven in the past with his 25 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. 3rd title defense. But Mickey Duff, the manager of Pergaud, between rounds, really give Pergaud a pep talk. He's done his own pep talking, because I don't know how he's really stood up. There's that body shot. A tremendous lift to the body, as we indicated, and Pergaud is down. We have 1:45 remaining. Wobbly leg, game as can be, and the 29-year-old challenger from Cameroon, West Africa, fighting out of Dusseldorf, West Germany. That is it. About a minute and, well, we'll get the official time. 1:41 left in the bout, or in the round. And it was the 5th round, and Matthew Saad Muhammed was about a half round away from his prediction. There he is, successful in his 3rd title defense. Body punching, oh, they're just tremendous. They add up, and as you saw, one more. And there you see the difference in their height, the same weight today, as we get a replay of that left hook to Pergaud's body, and a tiny cut had opened in the previous round, left eye of Pergaud, but Saad didn't go for that. There you see it. It caught not only the body, but appeared to have caught the chin on the way down. Watch this. A little left jab. Now watch this shot. That's it. Oh, it was really in there quick. And that is the first time that Pergaud has been knocked out. The other shot of it is Rudy Ortega moves the champion away, begins the count, and then stops the fight. We'll be returning to Halifax, Nova Scotia, where Matthew Saad Muhammed in the 5th round successfully defended his title for the 3rd time and is still the WBC champion. We'll be back after this. 15 of the 5th round here after vicious, brutal body punches by this 25-year-old on my right from Philadelphia. A TKO over the challenger from West Africa. And Matthew, we've done a few of your fights, and you looked especially tough to the body today.
Well, I want to say that I only trained at least 2 weeks for this fight, And I'm just ready to unite the title. I'm looking for Mr. Eddie Gregory. Listen to me, boy, because I'm after you. I'm the man. I'm the champion. I am the undisputed light heavyweight champion.
I have to believe you, Matthew. I've known you a long time.
Keep telling the people.
Let's take a look at that left hand. Now, there's Pergaud in red, and you were chasing him this afternoon. Now, watch. Tell us what you unloaded.
Well, I'm throwing a lot of left hooks to the body. You can always get a southpaw by throwing left hooks to the body or either a lot of right hands. So I'm setting them up really with the left hook. Like I said, I only trained a week, really, to tell you the truth, for this fight. So I was a little stale and up to par with my performance. But you see, that left hook really did it because it took its toll.
Looked like it caught the body first and then even got him on the chin going down. That's what I call a double whammy.
Yeah.
Did it weaken you by having to lose quickly 2.5 pounds this morning?
No, I've done it before on a lot of my previous title fights, and it doesn't really do too much harm to me. It weakens me during the time that I have to really take the weight off. Well, I want to say hello to my stepfather, John Santos.
Yes.
How you doing, Dad?
Yes, a man, 25 years old, abandoned at the age of 5. We've gotten to know him, and we love this guy. Matthew Saad Muhammed from Philadelphia, congratulations.
I want to thank my
Sullivan.
trainer, Sam.
All right, we've got to go now, so let's go back to New York City, and here is Frank Gifford.